How y'all doing this evening? Oh, yes, Lord. My cheese still hot from earlier, you know what I'm talking about? Had a good day of service. And it was like real enlightening. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, I already had those thoughts in my head, you know what I'm saying? Like, I be staying fast in the word. And I know a lot of people don't like that, you know what I'm saying? That God uses me because know, they want it, you know, or not even that. They just don't want it to be me. You know what I'm talking about? But they can't change God. You know what I'm talking about? I just say, you know, best of luck to you. I'm gonna keep on doing what He want me to do. I like to let this joint warm up a little bit. Get in the spirit of things. Nice and quiet, like I like it. Get a lot more peace. Be more peaceful. You know what I'm talking about? Even in a crowd I'm by myself because that's how God want me to be. He want me to be an individual, and He wants a lot more of us to be that way. He wants us to be individuals. He wants us to be set apart. He wants us to be in His ways. You know, the title was Him separating the good people from the bad people. You know what I'm saying? He told them to go flee in the mountains, and you know that's where He had His sanctuary and things. And, you know, what I'm talking about His resting place. So I said the heart is like Mount Zion. We have to keep that joint clean for Him to rest there. You know what I'm saying? And as we do that, we will receive a lot more downloads from Him because we're being obedient by listening to what He wants us to do. I was gonna save this for another day because I was gonna do this on Wednesday because I got something going on, but I was led to the Spirit to do this tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm up on 4 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? Before we get in it, you know what I'm talking about? And I just want to say, you know, I'm thankful for Him for the day and for Him allowing me to be able to help somebody else to be able to overcome things that they've been going through in their life. You know, sometimes He uses in mysterious ways, you know what I'm saying, to where we don't really quite understand. But when we start to see things through different perspectives, everything falls in line. It falls into place. And I'm just allowing Him to have His way because His will is my way. And without further ado, so anyway, Lord, what you want me to say? What you want me to say? What you want me to say? What you want me to tell the people this lovely evening? We in Proverbs. Oh, you see that? We in Proverbs. I'm talking about. And it's look like Proverbs 3, like a good 7, 8 to me. Then Proverbs 5, like 14, 15 to 16. But you already know the routine. Whoo! Yes, Lord. Come on, Giant. I'm talking about, man, listen, before I get on, I couldn't stop laughing earlier because of the image that God put in my head of the devil being defeated. Oh, what's going on here? Lord Jesus, it's God time, man. Listen, and it was just so funny, the, the look of the image that I couldn't stop laughing because when I heard him laughing, it just instantly made me just start busting up, you know what I'm saying, cracking up. I'm talking about some, man, everything that was happening around me was just funny to me. You know what I'm talking about? Because it was like I know I was there, but then again I wasn't. It was like he had me on a whole different plane showing me something else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to explain, you know what I'm saying, when he do that. Because it's happened to me a couple few weeks ago. And I was like, I was minding my business working. You know what I'm talking about? And he showed me some light skinned dude and his eyes, the way his eyes looked, it looked like the eyes of this dream that I had of this horse that somebody was burning. They tried to burn the horse up, you know what I'm talking about? And it couldn't be nothing but, and I'm feeling something right now. It couldn't be nothing but the devil, you know what I'm saying? And God showing me somebody trying to do some witchcraft voodoo carrying on, you know what I'm saying? Cause see, the devil don't like kingdom marriages. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm supposed to be getting married to my kingdom wife. And a lot of things been fighting that. A lot of people just come from randomly, you know what I'm talking about? And doing whatever they can to try to prolong, to stop the will of God. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I love you, baby. Listen, no matter what, when God shows you your person and he assures you that and he just constantly telling you, like, because I questioned a lot. I said, why? You know what I'm saying? Because I had my mind made up to be by myself. Why? And still not body hop. Why? Because of the things that I've been through in the past got so bad for me to the point that I don't trust people. God never changes on us, but people will change on us. They'll change in a heartbeat over anything. But God told me to trust this person. He told me to trust this woman. And so I do. You know, I don't know if he done told her the same thing, but for some reason and for so long, it's been the main thing. You know, she told me into keeping my heart open to receive love. You know what I'm talking about? She told me into that smooth talking Jordan. You know what I'm talking about? I love her. But you know, like I said, things and people change. Me, I'm still the same. I'm still down for the crown. You know what I'm talking about? I'm still down for the crown. I praise and worship him every day and every night. Look what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm talking about? But, you know, some people still tend to want to try to intervene and they going at all costs. And I'm like, it's not me. This is in God's hands. I'm just going with the flow. Whatever he lead me to do, that's what I'm gonna do. So I told my baby, God gonna do what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Either way, he gonna do what he gonna do. He has control over the devil. He allows him to come into our life to learn right from wrong. And when you do people wrong, you do people dirty, that's what you get back. I thank him so much for allowing me to heal in such a quick time and a quick manner, which it even now seems like forever. But you know, I I don't have no problems like that. You know, those things try to come up from your past to hinder you from your future. But when those things arise like that, we just have to still know that there is a future until we get called back home. That's just like with that post that I just put up. You know what I'm saying? You don't miss something until it's gone. You know, and I'm not trying to miss anything that God got promised for me. You know what I'm talking about? I'm calling it to me as I speak the word right now. I'm calling it to me. Why? Because that's the same thing I do with God. I call him to me. So he can be in my presence at all times. Like I said, I just felt her actually. But I felt him while I was in service. I felt him early this morning, real strong. Joint, it's God time. You talking about this? Whoo! See, that's the devil distracting. Don't want to get this message out. You know what I'm saying? But it's coming. You know, I want to get these verses here out, get back into the spirit, and really vocalize true intentions from pure heart. And it says, "Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from all evil." Yes, Lord. I think I just covered that. It says, "It shall be healthy to thy navel and marrow to thy bone." You know, that's what we feed ourselves. We feed ourselves positivity, we have a positive outcome. We feed ourselves negativity and evil, that's the outcome that we receive. I had somebody on TikTok say, man, they like that I don't get upset. Like they intentionally trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like who does that? You know what I'm saying? Who really does that? You know, I don't have time for it. I don't have time for people like that in my life. I kicked a lot of people out of my life just so I could have peace. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm having. And I'm enjoying myself. And I want to live a peaceful life with my wife and my kids and mind our business. Keep helping people that need help. Don't want nobody coming wasting our time trying to get in between us and none of that craziness. You know what I'm talking about? Don't need none of that. Go that way. You know what I'm talking about? We got things to do for the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? People that really need Him. It says, honor thy Lord with thy substance. All this, your dirt, honors you, Lord Jesus. It says, and the fruit, with the first fruits of thine increase, so shall they burn, be filled with plenty, and that and thy presses shall burst out with new vines. You know, that's him wanting us to be prosperous. You know what I'm saying? Wanting us to grow, wanting us to know, wanting us to be the best thing that we can be. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I have a saying, you know what I'm saying? We are the seeds that's planted by the riverside of life. Yeah, and we running that joint. He said, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his corrections. You know, when God is correcting you, or when he chastises you, you will know it because you'll feel convicted by what is going on, what has transpired of your iniquities, you know what I'm saying? And you just repent, you know what I'm saying? You don't never not want to be a smarty pants. I'm gonna break it down to you. You don't never want to be arrogant. You don't never want to be cocky. You want to be humble. You know what I'm talking about? Because that way you can receive a lot more information than is put out by being humble. And as you receive those things, that's how you can be able to discern whatever it concerns. You know what I'm talking about? It says, I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Yeah, I was almost into some craziness when I first started this. You know what I'm saying? I tried to reach out to others because I'm like, all right, I know some of this stuff here, and this was when I first started out with it, and it added up to me to say, okay, let me do fellowship. Now, I tried to do that, and I ran. The first people that I ran to was some Coke members. You know what I'm talking about? They was a straight up Coke. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care what nobody say. I know what that looked like. You know what I'm talking about? Ooh, Lord, you know some justice. I pray for them people still to this day that have to live by that code that they got going on right there in that little area. You know what I'm talking about? Because it ain't right. It is not right. Somebody need to free them people. You talking about slavery going on in other countries and they can handle. Listen, somebody need to free them people right there. You know what I'm talking about? Because they are being mentally enslaved by people that's abusing the knowledge of religion, and they're using it to the point that it's politics. You know what I'm saying? And they're using it on these people that have not broadened their horizon to the other parts of the world, to the freedoms that God has really put upon us. They are really captives in a community. And I just, you know, it's a lot of people working too involved from all levels of government and everything. You know what I'm saying? See, what people don't realize, when you get to little small towns and stuff like that, the people who run it usually been living there for years. They have generations and generations and generations. And they start to get into these offices, into these businesses, these places around the whole little area. And if you a new person, you coming from the outside and you don't know nobody, or somebody disfavors you, that's when you in a whole heap of trouble. And they be trying to cover up things so bad. They be trying to cover it up, to the point that they're, you know what I'm talking about? And it is, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That we have to go through some things like that. You know, just being born. That's why I said, from my first child, I tried to stick there. I tried to stick there. Joints tried to take me out because I knew too much. I seen too much of their dirtiness in that same situation that I just have to mention it. And, you know, did the same thing with the second joint. You know, that one right there, that dad went through the same thing that I went through with my first pair of kids, where he was separated for money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when you are mentally abused, physically abused, and financially abused, you are bruised all throughout your life to where you don't want to trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a strong will for you to try to conquer that and still keep going, not knowing what your future is because you ain't trying to look ahead, because God goes ahead of you and fight those battles so you to have a clean path to walk through. You know what I'm saying? And that ended up being some craziness too at the end of that. You know what I'm saying? That ended up last year, you know what I'm saying, to just what I started off saying, people doing witchcraft and voodoo and carrying on, you know what I'm saying? And I know the joint want me to be alone. I know that. I know that for a fact, even though they got caught cheating, they got caught doing witchcraft and all that carrying on, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a humbling experience for God to be teaching me how he teaches me. He teaching me right now. I won't have nobody really coming in and teaching me more than what God has been teaching me and showing me and doing for me. I'm not nothing like that other people are used to. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite different. I'm a quiet person. I can get loud. I like having fun. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm more reserved because I like to be aware of my surroundings. And Because I done been shot, stabbed, kidnapped, and dragged. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't going through none of that junk no more. You know what I'm talking about? So I keep myself preoccupied with other things. And this is one of my main things that's focus. I'm starting to study. Ooh. It's a focus that I got going on in my life because he called me, and when he called me, he told me, "This is what I want you to do, and do it in a creative way." So he used my hands to pull these scriptures about these books. You know what I'm talking about? He uses my hands to find the music that I put behind the scriptures on TikTok. He used my hands to be able to keep income coming in without asking anybody for any donations, even though I have a nonprofit going on and it's in need of funding. I fund it. You know what I'm talking about? I fund it. He gives me sources to be able to help keep feeding people, help keep doing whatever it is he needs me to do. Just like he led me earlier to my kingdom wife. He said, take care of your wife. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm out riding, and minding my business. And I just pulled over and stopped, you know what I'm saying, and just, start praying for her because I'm supposed to cover my wife. That's what he put us together for. We're supposed to cover each other. You know what I'm saying? And cover our house, cover our children, cover everything that we have. Because if we don't, that gives the devil an opportunity, a doorway to come in. And I pray against that. Hey, Joint, you go ahead on. You talking about straight up. The devil got no foothold here. No matter how hard he's trying, I'm not complying. And I shun him. He got to go. Hit this last little scripture, and I'm out the door myself. We almost 30 in. You come out. We got something to do. It says, drink the waters out of thine own cisterns and running waters out of thine own well. We running that giant. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad and rivers of water in the streets. You know, that's just like him quenching our thirst for more knowledge of him. It's supposed to flow abundantly. It's supposed to just flood. When he hits me with downloads, it floods. You know what I'm talking about? It floods. And he had been hitting me all week long to the point that I end up doing a live. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I wasn't planning on getting on here for a minute. And it wasn't because of nobody else. It was just because I needed a little more time over on the other thing because I need that to grow as well. I need all of it to grow. I need everything to grow. I'm switching over some stuff and other ventures that I got going on and praying that I'm taking the right steps. You know what I'm saying? With that. And just keeping the faith, keeping going, keeping moving. This is authentic or nothing. Ain't no telling what might jump off. I'm gonna holler at y'all later on.